Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the 2025 playbook for a topic that's honestly a make or break deal for production AI, LLM observability. If you're building anything with language models, you are definitely going to want to stick around for this.
So let's kick things off with a question that probably keeps a lot of engineering and product leaders up at night. Your AI app is out in the wild, people are using it, but can you, hand on heart, say you know what your LLM is actually doing from one moment to the next?
Well, the answer to that question, it's all about a discipline that's become absolutely essential, LLM observability. And look, this is way more than just your standard monitoring for crashes. It's about getting a deep, intuitive understanding of your app's quality, its costs, and its performance, so you can build something that people genuinely trust.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with why this is such a hot topic right now. Then we'll walk through the actual playbook of best practices, check out the tools that bring it to life, and wrap up with how you can get started. Ready? Let's dive in. So let's get right to the heart of it. Why is everyone talking about this now, in 2025? It's simple, really. Large language models aren't just your standard software. They bring a whole new, unique set of challenges that our old monitoring tools were never, ever designed to handle. Yeah, this is exactly where those traditional tools just fall flat. They have no idea how to connect a user's prompt to the final output, especially when there are a bunch of steps in between. They're totally blind to critical stuff like token costs. They can't peek inside that black box to see why a model made a certain decision. And this is a big one. They have no way to incorporate subjective, human feedback on whether an answer was actually any good.
Okay, so we've laid out the problems. Now for the good part, the solution. This brings us to the core playbook, the real how-to guide for taming this complexity and building AI you can actually count on. And the entire playbook, all of it, is built on one single, super powerful concept: distributed tracing. The best analogy? It's like the flight data recorder for your LLM application. It captures every single detail of a request journey, from the moment it starts to the final output. But a trace isn't just one giant log file. No way. As you can see here, it's this beautiful hierarchy. You've got the entire user session at the top, which contains individual traces for each request. And each trace is made up of spans, these tiny individual steps, like a call to the LLM, a database lookup, or a tool being used. This structure is what gives you that incredible visibility. Now, once you have that tracing foundation, it unlocks these 7 core best practices. You can think of this as the essential checklist for any team that's serious about running AI in production. The first 2 practices are all about capturing your data with rich context. It's not enough to just log that something happened. You have to instrument every trace with useful metadata. Who was the user? What model version was it? Then you have to capture the entire cycle of that request: the input, the output, and every single thing that happened in between. Okay, so you're gathering all this amazing data. That's great, but how do you use it to understand what's happening right now? How do you track performance, quality, and your costs in the moment, instead of finding out a week later in some report? This is where all that data you've been collecting really starts to pay off. Practices 3 and 4 are about continuous quality assurance. We're talking live dashboards, tracking your most important metrics, cost per query, latency, you name it. And just as important, you need to build evaluation right into your workflow, using a mix of super fast automated checks and the nuanced eye of a human reviewer. And this chart is the perfect example of the goal. You want to be able to see a sudden spike in latency for your slowest requests, your P99, and have an automated alert go off before it becomes a huge problem for your users. This is what it means to be proactive, not reactive. All right, the final 3 practices? This is all about making your system ready for the big leagues, making it enterprise ready. This means setting up real-time alerts so you're never flying blind. It means you can easily export your trace data to other big systems, like your data warehouse for deeper analysis. And of course, it means the whole thing is built on a secure, compliant architecture. That's just non-negotiable. So you've got the playbook, but how do you actually implement it? That brings us to the modern tool landscape. You've got to pick the right platform for the job. The field has a few key players, and they each have their own angle. You have comprehensive platforms like Maxim AI, which are really built for that end-to-end, enterprise-level observability. Then there are tools like Langsmith, which are fantastic for debugging and live deep inside the LangChain ecosystem. And of course, you got powerful open source options like LangFuse if you want to build on a self-hosted foundation. Okay, with the playbook and the tools in mind, how do you actually get started? Let's walk through the practical first steps your team can take. Look, the number one piece of advice is start early. Instrument your app from day one because you can't analyze data you never collected. Get your whole team on the same page by standardizing your metadata tags. Build dashboards that focus on what matters to the business and to your users, not just system health. And set up smart alerts based on things like negative user feedback or low quality scores. Finally, create a real process for human review and make sure all this amazing data flows into your other analysis pipelines. So let's bring it all home. What's the bottom line here? LLM observability isn't just a nice-to-have or some extra debugging tool. It is the absolute foundation for building AI that is reliable, cost-effective, and most importantly, worthy of your users' trust. And the benefits are real and measurable. Teams that adopt these practices see their development cycles get dramatically faster because debugging an issue takes minutes, not days. They see higher quality outputs, they get a handle on runaway costs, and they build a clear path to meeting security and compliance goals. Ultimately, when you boil it all down, it really does come back to this single powerful idea from the source material. Without this linchpin, everything else in your AI deployment just gets harder and a whole lot riskier. So we'll leave you with this question to take back to your team. Are you just shipping AI features, or are you building your AI on a solid foundation of trust? Adopting this observability playbook is how you make sure the answer is a confident yes.